Ladies and gentlemen, it is Regan, aka Wannabe Cowboy, in collaboration with Live in the Living Room, and I am joined by three wonderful ladies. We have Piper, Braylon, and Paige, and then they form July Moon. Ladies, how are we doing on this fine afternoon for you and evening, I guess, for me?
Great. We're so excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
Well, it's our pleasure to have you. Obviously, we'll get into it a little bit later, but we mainly cannot wait to talk about your trip over here to the UK for the Country Calling Festival, which you are performing on Sunday, the 17th of August. But before we get into that, I want to know, tell us a little bit more about, how you three ladies formed July Moon.
Yeah, we formed, July Moon formed a couple years ago. Braylon and I met through mutual friends, and Paige and I met years ago when we both moved to Nashville. Fun fact, nobody is like really from Nashville except for Braylon. She is from Nashville, but most people who live in Nashville are not from there. Paige and I both moved there about 8 years ago, and we met at a songwriters round and became friends and started writing together over the past 8 years. And when we needed another member for July Moon, Braylon and I talked, and I introduced her to Paige, and we all hit it off, and the rest is history.
Well, say that's the main thing, Or it sounds like you've been ridiculously close. Obviously, like you said, you've formed from knowing someone and then brought them
Yeah.
in. It's absolutely incredible. But the one thing that baffles me, I mean, I've done a little bit of research, is that your music you sometimes refer it to as Fleetwood Country, and obviously basing it off a very famous and popular band, Fleetwood Mac. So I want to know, where did the love for country music come from you as a group, also, but also individually? Like, what made you want to go down this direction?
So good.
Well, for me, just like growing up in Nashville and being surrounded
Yeah,
by it, it's always
yeah,
been like a huge interest of mine, and just seeing like the studios and casually just seeing like famous people on the street, and just I don't know, it was just something that was really inspiring to me to just be around and see. And I there was a period of time where I was like, I don't think I want to do country, and then it kind of just I think I'm destined to do it just because I'm born here, raised here, and it's something that just really resonates with me. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we all
yeah.
kind of
No, yeah. Well, exactly, Braylon, growing up in Nashville, it must have been a childhood's dream. You listen to this music as a kid and you see the
Exactly.
artists live on the street and you're there like, wow, like my artist I want to see. I've got to sit 10 million rows back and see him as a little dot on the stage. But, this is why we
exactly.
love doing what we do. But no, again, you've come from the authentic, I can see the Nashville roots. But Paige, tell me about your route into country music.
Yeah, I always think back to the moment. I don't know if you're familiar with the song Red Rag Top by Tim McGraw.
I mean,
I just remember
Tim
my mom
McGraw.
played it in her car one day, and I was like, it was like the first time she had to break it down for me, explain what the song was about. I was like 11 at the time, and I was just like so entranced by storytelling. And I was like, I think from that moment, I was like, storytelling is what I want to do, and country music, that's all it is telling that. So I knew I was going to be in country music when I was like 11 years old. So
So yeah, again, grown up with it. Piper, is your kind of story the same thing? You've grown up with it, or is it something that you kind of fell in love with later in life?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up listening to all kinds of music, a lot of rock and a lot of country. I think my first concert was, well, they were called the Dixie Chicks at the time, now the Chicks, but
Yeah.
I think that was my first concert. So yeah, I was exposed to country music at a very young age. I actually started playing violin at age 5. So I was always kind of exposed to like violin and fiddle. I mean, I was trained classically, so I wasn't like a fiddle player, and I'm still not really, but I would love to be one day. It's one of my things I need to work on more. But yes, so ever since I started playing violin, I was always compared to like, oh, are you going to be, are you going to learn the fiddle and play in country music? And I always thought to myself, yeah, maybe one day. And now I dabble here and there with the violin and the fiddle. But yeah, I mean, I grew up listening to all kinds of music, but I think I just fell in love with the city of Nashville. And Nashville is obviously country music is the hub, but I mean, it's Music City. There's so many different kinds of music. So I kind of found the niche of country once I got here.
No. Well, I mean, as a famous man, Cody Johnson says, you ain't got a band if you ain't got a fiddle. So I guess you fit right in there into the country aspect. But
Yeah.
I have to say, ladies, what I love about your group is that obviously it's very rare these days that we see country bands with three dominant females leading the way in music, and the way you speak about women's issues and, you know, pushing forward and letting like little girls telling them you be who you want to be, not who you're told to be. Like your latest single, is it? I'm trying to. The name is literally. I'm talking about it, and the name is completely.
What a woman to be. You're so close, though. Like that. That was.
Yeah,
You had the
it's just.
tagline.
I listen to that song and the empowerment, the way that you three harmonize, because you know your vocal ranges I've heard are completely different, but when it comes to points, it just syncs so well. Like, is that something it's come over time, or is it something that click instantly? The way you're able to harmonize each other and work along, and not one overpowers the other.
I think our natural blend came really easy. Yeah, our voices when we sang together for the first time, we were like, this definitely is going to work. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna lie, like practice makes perfect, and we've gotten better through practice. But
of course.
I think the chemistry was 100% there when we first sang together.
Has there been any points where you've thought, I hate you? Like any little insights you can give? Has there any been occasions where someone's done something in the band and there's been slight little elements of, you know, I'm not going to talk to you for 5 minutes and then, no, you know, let's make up from a little group?
I think it's crazy because like when I joined the band, I think one of the first conversations that we all had was like, there has to be open communication. And that's been so key on like how this all works. Because for me, I shut down. When I get frustrated, I'm like, I'm not talking. I'm the one that's like, I'm not talking to you. But like, you know, Piper's really good at being like, come on, just tell me how you feel, like what's going on. And like over the past year of being in this band, we've all learned how each other work, like how to say something to, like, I'll say something different than I would to Piper, to Braylon. And we're really observant of each other's feelings and like what's going, we know when someone's upset. You have to be careful, but we're girls. I mean, like we have to be safe and to just, you know, make sure it works. But no, we haven't had like anything crazy happen. No, we've really actually gotten along very well.
Well, say, you know, you hear these, touch wood. You hear these stories, you know, of people having arguments in bands and they're causing a bit of a rift. So, you know, you've had this like you said, 8 years, you know, it's a bond that I can imagine now. You don't see each other as band mates or friends. You're a family inside yourselves. And you know, I won't have to lie. I won't lie though. I've seen you on social media, and just some of the stuff you put out is absolutely brilliant. Like just clips from your even your onstage energy. And I think I saw a clip literally earlier about someone sweating so much that your eyelashes were falling off. Yeah, the true inside panic of my eyelashes. They're not, and then just literally like launching them
right off. Then
is that so? Now moving on to, you know, what we want to talk about. Your trip to the UK, Country Calling. Are you going to bring the same energy or even more to us UK fans?
Hopefully more.
I think we're trying something new. This will be our first show with, I don't know if you're familiar with a stomp pedal, but it's a little box. So Braylon has been such an angel and has learned this instrument in like the last I don't know 3 months or whatever. Yeah. So it's gonna be really fun because it's a new dynamic to how we're gonna be set up on stage. So it should definitely be a good time. Yeah.
No, it sounds good. I think you'll be surprised when you come over here, because I don't know if you may have seen on social media, you know, you might have done your research, some artists have done, but country music in the UK is just blowing up right now. There's more UK country artists than there ever has been. You know, we're getting more notice, as we say, on the state side of artists wanting to come over. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'd love to see your reaction, you know, when you're performing on stage, if there's members of the crowd singing your songs back to you, you know, word by word. How does that feel, that when you go abroad or when you go to different states, you know, where you may feel we're not as known as others, but there's people in the crowd, you know, singing every single word. That, you know, that must feel like a sense of not relief, but ecstaticness of like, wow, like people know who we are.
Yeah, we were at a show a couple weeks ago and that happened to us. I saw a girl singing along to the words, and it was a song that like we sing all the time. So, you know, sometimes artists zone out on songs that like it's maybe not the newest song we've ever sang. And so, we've sang this song hundreds of times in our life. And I was kind of zoning out, just doing my thing, singing the song. And then I saw her singing the words and I was like, I just got so into this song because I saw her and she knew the words. So it's definitely it's such a cool feeling and so inspiring. And I hope they know some of the words.
Yeah.
I mean, we can see on like our numbers on certain platforms where the listeners are coming from, and they've definitely been listening. So we're excited.
Well, that's just the thing, isn't it? It's when you get announced at events and people are like scanning and scanning, they'll go through and just, they'll, oh, I've never heard of these. Let's listen to them. Oh, wow, this is really good. But what are you most looking forward to, other than the festival, about coming over to my side of the pond? We'll start with Paige.
Ooh, it's going to be such a silly answer, but I literally can't wait to come to the local pubs and just talk to locals and hear about their area that they live in. And because we're going to, we'll be in Essex, we'll be in York, and we're doing London for a few days. So I'm just like, I'm always keen on going to like where the locals go. So I hope they,
the real like, authentic. You want to get the full UK experience. I will prepare you though for the difference of accents. There will be at points, I reckon, where someone will speak to you and you'll go, "What did he say?" But no. But what about you, Braylon? What are you most looking forward to when you come over? Other than performing, of course.
So the last time I was there, I saw this really giant, beautiful building, and it was the Natural History Museum, and I didn't get to go. And the next time I like told myself, I was like, if I get to go to London again, I have to go. And so I'm really excited about that.
Make clear time in your schedule. Like, I've been to the Natural History Museum multiple times. Literally, like, it's an hour and a half on the train for me. But it's something that is this pinnacle, I think, in London, because for you coming over the States, there's a lot of British history in there.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably, we know Americans, they'll probably look back and go, "Oh, look, it's the War of Independence. Haha, you lost." Because that's all I hear. Anytime I speak to American, they're like, "Yeah, but we kicked you back across the Atlantic." But,
good Lord.
But it's it's just that the British American banter. You've got to you've got to laugh along to it.
Yeah, you have to, right?
But it's definitely, I definitely recommend drag them along, Braylon. Just drag them along, even if you're super excited like a kid. I can't wait to go to the museum, and they're like parents, like, "Oh no, here we go." I can guarantee as soon as they get in there, they will absolutely love it. But finally, Piper, go on. What are you looking for, Piper?
Oh my gosh, Paige kind of stole part of my answer, but I also am very excited to like go to the different markets and kind of just like explore the shops and just walk around and kind of not have a plan, but just stop in wherever looks cool. But no, I'm definitely excited to shop.
Camden Market is where you need to go. If you like it's just the stalls there are just you'll ladies, you'll have to pull her out. I'm not even joking. You'll be like, "We need to perform in 10 minutes." He's still in Camden Market shopping. But what is there any specific cuisine that you're eager to try when you come over? Because I know there's one cuisine. Whenever I talk to an American artist, it's just they don't seem to comprehend, and that is the British beans on toast.
We have a Indian dinner reservation.
Oh yes, yes. Can't you?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Dishoom.
I don't know that place. Oh.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Oh, Dishoom is a very fancy Indian place in London.
Yeah. That's our one thing that we're doing.
Do it, absolutely. I mean, I've never been because I can't afford it personally, but hey ho, that's a different story.
You're making me nervous.
No,
can I?
I have a credit card. Dishoom is like your Roca and stuff like that.
I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
What happened?
Hello. What's going on?
You're muted. I don't know what happened. We can't hear you.
Let me try. Hang on.
Oh, that's so weird. Hello? Oh, yeah.
No, I wasn't muted on my end. It's just, I don't know what's happened. Maybe my internet connection had just dipped out for a second. But yeah, you've got to, I mean, back onto the subject of food. Don't worry, we'll sort that out in the post edit. Back on the subject of food, obviously, you've got your Dishoom booked. You've got in Greg's. If you ever get an opportunity to go into a Greg's, sausage rolls.
That's what I was told. I
That
said
sounds so
someone told me to
good.
go have
That
a
sounds
beer and like get a little tipsy and then go have a sausage roll or whatever. They said it's so good.
Such a British thing. But this is why I love
Yeah,
talking
write that down.
to people like yourselves. And I'm a bit of a foodie. I absolutely adore food. So I need to catch up with you and hear about your experiences when you try things like dairy milk chocolate,
Yeah.
McVitie's biscuits. Proper British. Because I know the dairy milk you've got out there is made by Hershey's, but over here you'll get
Yeah.
a proper taste of it. But we're super excited to have you in the UK. Obviously, the people at Country Calling, I don't think they know what's going to hit them. They'll be like, "Who are these people?"
Aw.
And by the end of the day, I'm sure you'll be in their Spotify playlists. But
Oh.
this now leads me on to my final question, then, ladies. You can answer individually, or you can answer as a group. So we all know you can't spell country without try. So where are you, July Moon, trying to get to in country music?
That's a loaded question. Well, we love playing shows, live shows. So we're trying to tour. We're trying to spread our music to all over the country, our country, and the world, hopefully. We would love to continue to release music. Anybody else want to chime in?
Yeah, I think something that's like super important for us, obviously, there's the lack of women representation. So I think for us, and trios in general, what we're doing is a very hard thing to do, female trio. So I think for us, it's important to do something to help pave the way for the next generation of female trios to just make more room and show everyone that we can do it. And I think that's just make an impact, something that's going to last long.
Braylon, any
one-hit wonders on TikTok. We don't want that.
Braylon, anything to chime in?
Yeah, I feel like just showing people that we are just who we are and just being authentic. And yeah, just Paige said, just pave a path for any female artist specifically in country music that wants to get out there and just try something, that you can do it, because we're trying.
And we would love to quit our side hustles.
Well, I think everyone would, but you couldn't have said it any better. I'm sure we have a lot of female artists in the UK who are trying to pave the way, and I'm sure that you will be a role model for them, and they can literally watch you do your thing and think, hey, I can do it too. But for the people who are watching the show that may not know where to find you, where can we find more out about July Moon?
We are July Moon Official on TikTok, Instagram, JulyMoonOfficial.com, and YouTube, all the things.
Well, perfect. Well, again, we look forward to hearing you at Country Calling. I cannot wait to see the footage of all your shows, and obviously, hopefully, hear from you in regards to your trips to Dishoom and trying British culinary in its finest. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. I've been Regan, aka Wannabe Cowboy, in collaboration with Live in the Living Room with the absolutely amazing July Moon. Ladies, any closing words?
Thanks so much for having us. We're so excited to come.
Come to Country Calling early on Sunday to see us.
Yeah, we're going first, so be there early.
Well, you heard it from them. Be there early, but we will see you on the next episode. Thank you very much.